Welcome to Port of Spain, the vibrant capital of Trinidad and Tobago, a city where Caribbean energy, colonial history, and modern life blend beautifully. Nestled between the sparkling Gulf of Paria and lush green hills, this dynamic port city is the cultural and economic heart of the nation, famous for its colorful festivals, lively streets, and warm island spirit. St. Patrick's Church is one of the most beautiful and spiritually significant Catholic churches in Port of Spain. Built in the 19th century, the church stands out with its striking Gothic-style architecture, tall spire, and peaceful atmosphere in the heart of the city. I had the privilege of participating in the Palm Sunday celebration here. The faithful gathered with palm branches in their hands, commemorating Jesus' triumphant entry into Jerusalem. La Piraz Cemetery is the main public cemetery of Port of Spain and one of the most historic burial grounds in the country. Established in the 19th century, it serves as the final resting place for people from many backgrounds, reflecting the rich multicultural history of Trinidad and Tobago. Mahatma Gandhi Square is a historic public square located in the heart of Port of Spain. Formerly known as Marine Square, it was once the central gathering place during the colonial era and served as the city's main parade ground and marketplace. Today, it remains an important landmark that reflects both the colonial past and the multicultural identity of Trinidad and Tobago. The Perry Gate stands as a tribute to Master Commandant Oliver Hazard Perry. Tranquility Methodist Church is a historic Protestant church located in the St. Clair area of Port of Spain. Established in the late 19th century, it has long served as an important place of worship and community gathering for Methodists in the capital. Port of Spain Magistrates Court is one of the busiest lower courts in Port of Spain, handling a wide range of everyday legal matters. Victoria Square is one of the historic public spaces in Port of Spain, located in the southern part of the downtown area. Named after Queen Victoria, the square dates back to the colonial era and once served as an important gathering place for civic events, public meetings, and everyday social life in the city. Today, Victoria Square functions mainly as an urban park surrounded by busy streets, government offices, and commercial buildings. Tall trees, open lawns, and shaded benches provide a quiet resting spot amid the fast pace of downtown Port of Spain. Red House, the most important historic buildings in Port of Spain, serving as the seat of the country's parliament. Located on Independence Square, this striking red brick structure has been at the center of Trinidad and Tobago's political life for more than a century. Originally built in the late 19th century during British colonial rule, the building was reconstructed after a fire and designed in a grand European architectural style. Its distinctive red color, ornate details, and clock tower make it one of the most recognizable landmarks in the capital. Over the years, it has witnessed key moments in the nation's journey from colony to independent republic. Today, the Red House houses both chambers of parliament and remains a powerful symbol of democracy and governance in Trinidad and Tobago. Standing proudly in the busy downtown area, it represents the country's political history, national identity, and the functioning of its modern state. Old Police Headquarters is a historic colonial-era building located in downtown Port of Spain. Constructed in the late 19th century, it once served as the central command for law enforcement during the British colonial period. The building's solid stone structure, arched windows, and clock tower reflect the formal architectural style typical of important government buildings of that era. Woodford Square is historically significant public spaces in Port of Spain. Located in the heart of downtown, it has long been a focal point for political gatherings, public speeches, and national events. During the struggle for independence, many important rallies were held here, earning the square the nickname the University of Woodford Square because it served as an open-air forum where citizens learned about politics and national issues. Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception is the principal Roman Catholic church in Port of Spain and one of the city's most impressive religious landmarks. Located in the heart of downtown, this grand cathedral was built in the 19th century and features striking Gothic Revival architecture, with twin towers, pointed arches, and beautifully detailed stonework that dominates the surrounding skyline.
This man had been thrown into prison for causing a riot in the city and for murder. Pilate was anxious to set Jesus free and addressed him again, but they shouted back.
Independence Square is the main commercial avenue running through downtown Port of Spain and one of the busiest streets in the country. Stretching across the heart of the city, it serves as a central hub for business, shopping, transportation, and government offices. From early morning to late evening, the area is filled with office workers, vendors, shoppers, and commuters, giving it a constant sense of movement and energy. The square is especially significant because it symbolizes the nation's independence from British rule in 1962. Along this corridor stand several important landmarks, including the Parliament building known as the Red House, banks, historic commercial structures, and access points to the waterfront. The mix of colonial-era architecture and modern buildings reflects the city's evolution over time. Today, Independence Square represents the economic heartbeat of Port of Spain. It may not be a traditional scenic square, but it captures the real character of the capital, fast-paced, diverse, and full of everyday life, making it an essential part of any city. The Cenotaph in Memorial Park, Port of Spain, is a historic monument at the top of Frederick Street honoring Trinidad and Tobago nationals who died in World Wars I and II. National Academy for the Performing Arts, commonly known as NAPA, is one of the most striking modern landmarks in Port of Spain. Opened in 2009, this state-of-the-art cultural complex was built to promote theatre, music, dance, and the performing arts in the country. Its unique architecture, often compared to a giant steel pan or a tropical flower, makes it instantly recognizable on the city skyline. Queen's Park Savannah is the largest open green space in Port of Spain and is often called the city's lungs and social heart. Saturday evenings at the Savannah are especially lively and are considered a must experience for visitors. Food stalls line parts of the park, turning it into an open-air street food festival where you can taste local favorites or simply enjoy the cool evening breeze after the tropical heat of the day. Queen's Royal College, established in 1859 during the British colonial period, is one of the oldest and most prestigious secondary schools in Port of Spain. Hayes Court is one of the famous Magnificent Seven buildings, originally constructed as a private residence for a wealthy family and later became the official home of the Anglican Bishop of Trinidad. Archbishop's Palace is the official residence of the Roman Catholic Archbishop of Trinidad and Tobago and is part of the famous Magnificent Seven group of colonial-era mansions. Mille Fleurs is one of the elegant historic mansions, built in the early 1900s for a wealthy French Creole family. The name Mille Fleurs means 1,000 flowers, reflecting the refined European influence on its design. Stolmayer's Castle is one of the most distinctive buildings. Built in the early 20th century for the wealthy Stolmeyer family, the mansion was inspired by Scottish baronial architecture and resembles a miniature European castle. Whitehall is one of the grand historic buildings, built in the early 1900s. This impressive white stone mansion was originally a private residence for a wealthy family during the colonial era. In later years, Whitehall served as the office of the Prime Minister and other government functions, making it not only an architectural treasure but also an important political site. Knowsley Building is a historic colonial-era structure located near Queen's Park Savannah, originally served as a private residence for a prominent family during the colonial period and reflects the elegant architectural style. Thank you for watching the video. See you again. Goodbye.